The fallout from the Matthew Johns NRL sex scandal is continuing, with public opinion divided over who should take responsibility for the incident. There are claims tonight that the woman involved boasted about her experience at the time, while there are also calls for every player involved to be named and shamed.
After the week their game was in turmoil, female footy show fans had their own take on Matthew Johns' indiscretion.
Why should he lose his job over that? She wanted it.
And it's not fair that they get so jeopardised and punished and she gets away with just causing trouble, basically.
Other supporters, though, had a very different view.
I think Channel 9 probably did the right thing standing Matty down, even though I like him. I think it's a very regrettable incident and you've got to feel sorry for the young lady concerned.
They'd all seen the interview with their fallen hero, now a broken man. At times, John's silence was deafening.
You have a perfect opportunity right now to step up and send a message to other players about this culture.
Today, John's critics were anything but silent.
I think there was absolutely a number of opportunities where Mr Johns could have made very clear leadership statements against violence against women, and he failed to do that.
No one should walk away from a sexual encounter feeling shamed, blamed or damaged. If that happens, something's gone terribly wrong.
But across the Tasman, revelations from one of the woman's workmates. Tania Boyd says that at the time, the woman bragged she'd had sex with several players.
I'm disgusted that a woman can all of a sudden change her story from having a great time to then turning it into a terrible crime.
Clearly, though, the woman is suffering.
It's disgusting.
She's not the only woman affected. John's wife, who's forgiven his infidelity, remains scarred.
And it's pretty much been living hell, I would imagine, would be the best way of describing it.
But should Johns wear all the blame? Sharks chairman Barry Pearce was in Christchurch when his players were involved in the sordid affair. He's been asked to name and shame all 12 of them.
It would be incredibly damaging to an ex-player or staff member to be named who had nothing to do with the incident.
Brett Kamali, who was on the tour, has already denied any part.
And I want to make sure that I certainly clear myself and, speculation gets thrown. Now, I was no part of the incident.
The public clearly want other offenders named. A 9MSN poll asking whether the NRL should name the other players in the sex scandal has so far had close to 77% of people voting yes. Chris Urquhart, 9 News.
And not surprisingly, the sex scandal dominated discussion on tonight's NRL footy show. There was emphatic condemnation of the group's sex incident, but praise for Matthew Johns' decision to step down from his Channel 9 commitments and for the way he handled himself on a current affair. Fellow commentator and friend Phil Gould says what's happened to Johns should serve as a warning for all.
And Matt said that wasn't me. But this report was the sledgehammer the game deserved, and it is what we needed. And what comes out of this report now should be a message to all players, not only to all players, to all young people and to all young girls, that there are no winners in any of this and that the behaviour thing has to be addressed. And you have to understand what the media will do to it, whether you think you're in the right or wrong, it doesn't matter. And what you think's a bit of fun is going to turn to tears eventually someday.